The WWE Universe was left stunned after Raw, and it wasn't because of a championship match, a shocking twist, or an unexpected return. No. This time, the shockwave came from the unthinkable. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief himself, publicly congratulated Jey Uso and Naomi on her pregnancy. And yes, you heard that right. The man who has built his persona around dominance, control, and intimidation chose this moment to step into the personal lives of his closest family members and address a scandal that had rocked the wrestling world. Backstage sources confirm that Roman's reaction was anything but scripted. This wasn't some promo, some storyline twist, or a social media post designed to grab headlines. Roman Reigns personally approached Jey and Naomi after the show, extending a congratulatory handshake and words that insiders describe as both sincere and calculated. It was like he was acknowledging reality, but also sending a message, said one WWE insider. A message that, whether Jey likes it or not, the family sees this as a moment of responsibility and legacy. The tension leading up to this moment had been boiling for weeks. Jey Uso had been reeling from Naomi's revelation, struggling to navigate the fallout of a personal scandal that had been exposed in the most public way possible. Fans, media, and even the WWE locker room were weighing in, dissecting every glance, every comment, every social media post. The Bloodline storyline, already fragile after multiple internal conflicts, teetered on the edge of implosion. And in the midst of it all, Roman Reigns made a move that no one saw coming. Recognition. Sources describe the moment as electric. Jey, still visibly shaken from Naomi's announcement and the weeks of backlash, reportedly froze when Roman approached. Naomi, radiant despite the tension, reportedly smiled but remained cautious. Roman's words, though few, carried immense weight. "This is family. This is life. You do what's right. We stand with you," Roman reportedly said, his tone calm but commanding. And just like that, the WWE Universe got a glimpse of Roman Reigns not as the unyielding tribal chief on-screen, but as a brother, a cousin, a family figure stepping into real-life drama with authority and intention. The public reaction was immediate. Fans flooded social media, debating the implications of Roman's congratulatory gesture. Was this a calculated move to protect the Bloodline's legacy? Was it a personal acknowledgement of responsibility? Or was Roman subtly sending Jey a warning? Step up, take responsibility, and honor Naomi, or face consequences within the family and the company. Hashtags exploded, with some fans praising Roman for showing leadership and family loyalty, while others criticized the timing, questioning if the congratulatory moment was genuine or a power play. Backstage, the atmosphere reportedly shifted after Roman's intervention. Jey, sources say, appeared both humbled and intimidated, realizing that his response to Naomi's revelation was no longer just a private matter. It had implications for his standing within WWE, the Bloodline, and his own family. Naomi, on the other hand, reportedly felt a mix of validation and relief. Roman's acknowledgement didn't erase the tension or frustration, but it confirmed that she wasn't alone in facing this life-altering announcement. And let's be real, the optics were everything. Roman Reigns, who has been portrayed as untouchable and intimidating, publicly showing support for Jey and Naomi sent shockwaves across WWE's creative, corporate, and fan networks. Every analyst, journalist, and wrestling commentator began dissecting the moment, trying to understand the deeper significance. Was this the tribal chief protecting his family? Or was it Roman carefully managing the fallout of one of WWE's most explosive personal scandals in recent memory? Sources also indicate that Roman's approach had a layered impact. On one level, it reassured the locker room and fans that the Bloodline would remain unified, despite the scandal. On another level, it subtly reminded Jey Uso that the eyes of the family, and the world, were on him. Every choice now would be scrutinized, every action analyzed. Roman's congratulations were more than words. They were a benchmark of accountability, a line Jey could not afford to cross lightly. Outside WWE, media outlets ran headlines highlighting the unprecedented nature of Roman Reigns' intervention. Wrestling fans debated endlessly on forums, social media, and podcasts. Some hailed Roman's move as a powerful family moment, blending the scripted universe of WWE with real-life drama. Others questioned the sincerity of the gesture, wondering if this was Roman leveraging the scandal to further cement his on-screen dominance and control over the Bloodline's narrative. The moment Roman Reigns extended his congratulations, the backstage environment shifted dramatically. Jey Uso, who had been grappling with anxiety, fear, and the weight of public scrutiny, reportedly seemed stunned. Sources say he didn't immediately respond, his usual bravado replaced with visible vulnerability. For the first time in weeks, Jey's emotions were laid bare. Not for fans in the arena, but for family, for Naomi, and for the leader who had the power to guide or chastise him. Insiders describe Naomi as quietly glowing, a mixture of relief and cautious optimism on her face. Roman's gesture signaled that she wasn't alone in facing the fallout. She had, for weeks, been navigating criticism, rumors, and fan speculation almost single-handedly. Roman's acknowledgement provided a buffer, a sign that, despite Jimmy's prior hesitation and confusion, the family unit still had her back. But make no mistake, Roman's congratulations were not just a warm, sentimental moment. Sources suggest that every word carried weight, layered with authority, expectation, and a subtle warning. Roman, always strategic, was sending Jimmy a clear message. Step up, own your responsibilities, and honor Naomi, or face consequences that extend beyond personal shame and into your career and family legacy. Social media erupted immediately. Fans dissected the interaction, replaying clips from Raw, reading into every glance, every hand placement, and every subtle facial expression. Analysts on podcasts debated whether Roman's intervention was purely supportive or a calculated power move to ensure Jimmy adhered to family and WWE expectations. Hashtags such as #Bloodline Drama, #Roman Reigns, and #Jimmy Uso Responsibility began trending, fueling global discussion. Backstage, the reaction was equally intense. Fellow wrestlers and staff were reportedly caught between relief and speculation. Relief, because Roman's public congratulations helped stabilize what had been a volatile situation. Speculation, because now everyone was watching Jimmy more closely than ever. Could he rise to the occasion as a father and partner? Would Naomi's announcement ultimately strengthen or fracture the Bloodline's dynamic? Roman's involvement had raised the stakes exponentially. Sources report that after the public moment, Roman pulled Jimmy aside privately. The conversation, described as firm but measured, reinforced the dual nature of the gesture: encouragement and accountability. He basically told Jimmy that the family is watching, that WWE is watching, and that fans are watching, said one insider. It wasn't just congratulations, it was a lesson in responsibility, respect, and legacy. Meanwhile, Naomi reportedly felt empowered by the interaction. For weeks, she had been navigating the difficult terrain of public revelation, criticism, and personal tension with Jimmy. Roman's acknowledgement not only validated her courage but also signaled that the family unit supported her decision to go public, reinforcing her confidence in facing what comes next. But the tension didn't end with congratulations. Jimmy's next steps would define the trajectory of his personal life, his on-screen character, and the Bloodline's influence in WWE. Sources confirm that Roman made it clear, Jimmy needed to handle every public appearance, social media post, and promo with accountability and care. One misstep could reignite controversy, derail storylines, and further fan outrage. Outside the walls of WWE, media coverage intensified. Headlines splashed across wrestling news sites, social media platforms, and fan forums, emphasizing Roman's unprecedented role in addressing a real-life scandal. Debate raged over the sincerity of his congratulations versus the strategic advantage of publicly aligning with Naomi while holding Jimmy accountable. Analysts speculated that Roman's move could reshape WWE's approach to integrating personal drama into professional storytelling, creating a precedent for leadership intervention during real-life crises. The day after Roman Reigns publicly congratulated Jimmy and Naomi, the WWE Universe went into overdrive. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions ranging from admiration to outrage. Fans dissected every frame of the Raw segment, replaying Roman's approach, his words, and even the subtle expressions on Jimmy and Naomi's faces. Every emoji, every tweet, every thread became part of a digital frenzy, turning a personal family moment into global wrestling news. The mainstream media quickly picked up on the story. Headlines highlighted the unprecedented nature of Roman's intervention, emphasizing that this was a rare glimpse of vulnerability, accountability, and family loyalty from the tribal chief. Articles debated the implications. Was this a genuine moment of support? Or was it Roman leveraging the revelation to assert dominance over Jimmy Uso and ensure control over the Bloodline narrative? Backstage at WWE, the atmosphere was electric. Colleagues whispered about Jimmy's visible discomfort. Sources report that he oscillated between gratitude, anxiety, and defensiveness. Roman's congratulations had placed a spotlight on him in a way that was impossible to ignore. For weeks, he had struggled to come to terms with Naomi's revelation in private. Now, the entire company, and by extension, the fans, was watching his every move. The pressure was suffocating. Naomi, however, reportedly felt a renewed sense of empowerment. Roman's gesture publicly validated her decision to go forward with the announcement. Sources confirm that she received supportive messages from several WWE talents who were impressed with her courage. Roman's acknowledgement had given her both a shield and a platform, reinforcing that she had the family's backing and, importantly, the company's recognition. Jimmy's response in the days following the public congratulations became a central focus. Insider reports indicate he attempted to re-establish normalcy on social media, posting subtle messages of thanks, but the scrutiny intensified. Every post was analyzed for sincerity, tone, and subtext. Fans speculated about his relationship with Naomi, his readiness to embrace fatherhood, and his ability to regain stability within the bloodline. Analysts debated whether Roman's congratulations were a catalyst for redemption or a public shaming disguised as support. The tension extended to the creative side of WWE as well. Sources claim that Triple H and other executives were closely monitoring the fallout, preparing contingency plans to adjust storylines if Jimmy's personal struggles impacted his performance or public perception. Roman's acknowledgement had elevated a private family issue into a high-stakes management scenario, forcing WWE leadership to balance personal sensitivity with professional storytelling. Meanwhile, fans' reactions became increasingly polarized. Some praised Roman for showing genuine care and leadership, framing him as a family figure capable of blending real-life responsibility with on-screen dominance. Others criticized the gesture, claiming it was a strategic move to manipulate Jimmy or control public perception. This debate fueled a constant media cycle, with podcasts, YouTube channels, and wrestling news sites dissecting every nuance of the interaction. Roman's congratulations also sparked a shift within the bloodline. Sources indicate that members of the faction began reflecting on family loyalty, accountability, and their roles both on-screen and in real life. The public moment created by Roman became a benchmark for behavior, influencing not only Jimmy's actions but also the faction's cohesion and reputation. Any misstep could now be attributed to a lack of accountability, directly contrasting with the example set by Roman and the recognition given to Naomi. And let's not forget the fan engagement factor. Hashtags like hashtag tribal chief leadership, hashtag bloodline family, and hashtag Jimmy Uso redemption dominated discussions. Fans were creating memes, reaction videos, and analysis threads at an unprecedented rate, highlighting how a single moment could ignite the WWE Universe. Social media became a storm, with every comment, retweet, and discussion keeping the story alive far beyond Raw's broadcast. The days following Roman Reigns' public congratulations turned into a frenzy that shook the WWE Universe to its core. Social media platforms became a non-stop storm, with fans analyzing every gesture, every word, and every glance exchanged between Roman, Jimmy, and Naomi. Clips of Raw circulated endlessly, dissected by commentators, fans, and media alike, turning what might have been a simple family moment into a spectacle of scrutiny and speculation. Backstage, the atmosphere was electric. Colleagues and other WWE superstars were reportedly divided. Some admired Roman's show of family loyalty, while others whispered about the potential strategic advantage he might be seeking. Jimmy, still processing the whirlwind of attention, reportedly struggled with the combined weight of his personal responsibilities and public perception. Sources claim he oscillated between genuine gratitude for Roman's support and nervousness over the constant spotlight. Every conversation, every appearance, every post on social media was now magnified. Naomi, in contrast, appeared more confident. Roman's acknowledgement validated her decision to make the pregnancy announcement public, signaling that she had the backing of both family and the company. Sources confirm that she received messages of support from several WWE talents, boosting her morale. This reinforcement allowed her to navigate fan speculation with a newfound sense of authority and dignity. Meanwhile, WWE leadership, including Triple H, closely monitored the unfolding situation. Roman's gesture had blurred the line between personal life and storyline, and the company needed to anticipate the ripple effects on ongoing and future storylines. Executives reportedly prepared contingency plans to adapt narratives, ensuring that Jimmy's personal challenges wouldn't derail key plotlines or affect the bloodline's dominance. Roman's public congratulations, while heartfelt, had essentially created a new layer of accountability for Jimmy, both personally and professionally. Fans, as always, were quick to react. Hashtags like hashtag tribal chief, hashtag bloodline drama, and hashtag Jimmy Uso redemption dominated social media, with millions of reactions flooding Twitter, Instagram, and fan forums. Analysts debated Roman's motives. Was it genuine support for family, or a calculated move to assert authority over the bloodline and ensure loyalty? The discussions were heated, polarized, and unrelenting. Every fan, insider, and commentator seemed to have an opinion, fueling a non-stop cycle of speculation and analysis. The public recognition by Roman Reigns also intensified scrutiny of Jimmy Uso's actions. Fans closely examined his every post, his interactions with Naomi, and his public appearances. Analysts questioned whether he would embrace fatherhood responsibly, uphold his commitments to Naomi, and maintain stability within the bloodline. Roman's congratulations were more than symbolic. They were a benchmark, a standard by which Jimmy's response would now be judged. Sources indicate that Roman's intervention had a broader impact on the locker room as well. Members of the bloodline reportedly took the moment seriously, reflecting on the importance of loyalty, accountability, and reputation. The congratulatory gesture set a precedent. Personal responsibility could no longer be ignored, and actions would be scrutinized not just for storyline purposes but for real-world implications. Media outlets amplified the story, framing Roman's actions as unprecedented leadership within WWE. Headlines highlighted the blend of personal support, strategic calculation, and family loyalty. Commentators speculated that this moment could redefine how WWE integrates real-life drama into its scripted universe, raising expectations for accountability and authenticity. For fans, the moment was unforgettable. Roman Reigns had transcended his role as tribal chief on-screen, demonstrating influence and authority in real-life situations. Jimmy Uso faced immense pressure to act responsibly, Naomi felt validated and supported, and the Bloodline's dynamics became a focal point of discussion both on-screen and off. Every fan, insider, and media outlet watched intently, asking, how will Jimmy respond? Will Naomi feel fully supported? And what further role will Roman Reigns play in shaping the family's narrative moving forward? Ultimately, Roman's public congratulations transformed a personal announcement into a pivotal moment in WWE history. It wasn't just about acknowledgement. It was about leadership, accountability, and the inescapable intersection of personal life and professional responsibility. Fans, analysts, and insiders alike were left in awe, questioning what this unprecedented gesture meant for the future of the Bloodline, the careers of those involved, and the cultural landscape of WWE itself.